So let's see how do we configure this email correspondence. Yes, I think I've already logged into the application.
Mhm.
So let me switch back to the Dev Studio. Or yes, you can also configure this from the App Studio as well. Once we'll have a look from the App Studio, then we'll come back to the Dev. Right?
Now we are in dev, isn't it?
Yes, we are in Dev. Yes. So let us just jump to the App Studio once. So to see the perspective of like what happens from the App Studio. Okay, let me open the case type.
Mhm.
Okay. So in the meanwhile, what do you think we could configure in this correspondence, or probably let us take the example of a mail. Okay. So
Mhm.
what do you think you might need to configure on this mail?
Uh, the sender recipient.
Right. Okay. So the first thing is who should be receiving this mail.
Yeah.
We will decide who should be the recipient. Now, as we are talking about recruitment here, so am I concerned with just one specific recipient, or could it be multiple recipients? As in, like, suppose when I receive an offer letter, will it be just for me, or will there be
Offer
other?
letter might be just for you. But
Okay,
if it's a regret email, they might send for to everyone
exactly, right. So
who
it
has
might be
been
for a group
rejected
of people.
together. Yeah.
Right. Sometimes in the offer letter, you see there would be some other mails as well. As in, it could be for the onboarding team or for HR team members could be there, right? They might be in CC,
Hmm.
who might be the recipient, but others also would be notified, as in like saying this candidate is selected. So the onboarding team or the HR team will be notified. Correct?
Yeah.
I think I'll just reload this instance once. So the first thing is recipients. Okay. Now, can I hard code it? I mean, can I hard code that this person is going to be my recipient? Can I do that?
No.
No, because it would be for each specific case instance.
Each case
I
it
cannot
will be.
hard code it to one email address. It has to be dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Depending upon the user input, the same email has to be used in order to send the email as well. So
Hmm.
I cannot hard code it. Okay, this is still loading. Hmm. Okay, yes, recipients are good. Then what about the content, the body of the mail? How does it have to be?
Content, it might be a template which you put, but you can, I think, mail merge. Like you might can
Mhm.
get the names from the database, like dear so and so.
Exactly.
You can get
Exactly.
the
Yes.
name and
So
wherever you
there
want
could
to
be
put.
a standard template. Correct.
Yeah, but
So
in
there could be
between you might be have database variables which will get uh, those
correct.
stuff from
Correct.
the database.
Exactly. Correct. So those values again they should be dynamically be populated. Correct?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, here is your send offer email. let's see what all we could do on this particular step. Yes, so here if you observe, yes, send to, I have multiple options here. There's an email address, which means a hard coded email address here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, this cannot be hard coded if it's a if you're thinking to send it out to a particular user. Yes, this cannot be hard coded. But otherwise, if it's part of the HR team or something, yes, they will have standard emails and I can deal with it. Okay. So, for example, let me choose a field here. Field as in the one that is part of your case type. Correct? So you
Yeah.
get to see all the different fields here. So there's only one field with respect to email that we have configured. So I get to see it directly. Right? So this email is something that we have configured in the get personal info. So the same email is considered as this field here. Okay. So I could use a field because this is more of a dynamic approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will get that from the database, like whatever you've stored,
Exactly.
whatever the candidate has stored.
Exactly. Yes. 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 Then otherwise, you have something called as user reference. As in like this is related to the data types. So you get to see a create operator and update operator for each of the data types that you have created. Right? So if this is something related to data types, you can use those operators also if required. Okay. Otherwise, yes, here you have your participants. So this deals with your owner, customer, and interested parties.
Mm-hmm.
Want this to be sent out only to the customer, yes, you can choose the customer. Or if it's for the owner, the one who created the case, or for everyone involved in the transaction, it goes for the all participants. Okay. So for now,
Okay, so
what is
if you want multiple, you will choose all participants.
right? Yes, multiple as in the same mail for everyone. Is it? Is it like that?
Okay, no, no, if I have to
Mhm.
get multiple email addresses at the same time,
Mhm.
it
Yes.
might be
Then.
some people
Uh,
from the list.
Okay, okay. So for that, I cannot use this contextual properties panel. So I need to go back to the
Ah,
dev.
okay.
First, I should populate all the emails, right? The list of emails. Then on each email, I should use the correspondence rule. So that would be done on the Dev Studio.
Okay.
Okay.
So those refinement will be done by the SS.
Developer.
Like,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct. Yes. Yes. So here, what I'll do is I'll send one to the email that is listed out here, and another email for a common address, maybe HR team at ABC.
So I'm just so only BS can do till this point in the sense if they don't have access to
Correct,
dev and so
correct, correct.
is there discussion happening because you can't tell them anywhere here, isn't it? So is that by discussions they will between the
Yes, so
system
that
analyst?
correct. That will be mostly described in the stories only. I mean, even though we
User
have a
story. Okay.
yes, yes. So even though we have a lot of aspects of agile workbench and all inbuilt in Pega, but I hardly see people using it. So they still go back using those conventional methods of Jira or their Kanban boards only to deal with this project management.
Okay, so as a user, they will write everything there, and
Right, right.
accordingly,
Yeah,
the developers will pick from there and do it.
correct, correct,
So
correct.
in that case, business architect doesn't use the tool at all.
Exactly, exactly. That's
Only to
that's the
check particular
whole
things, I
whole
think.
point. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, where they can record user stories, if something like that in Pega.
They could do it here. I mean, we will be able to do it from the Dev Studio. You have a portal where you can. I mean, not a portal, but you have a place where you can get your requirements, specifications, all of those can be done.
Mm.
Yeah. Something called as Agile Workbench. I mean, that Agile Workbench is obviously for the developers, so they can check their stories, they can put in their comments onto it, they can add in some screenshots, videos, all of that can be done from the Agile Workbench. Developers can do
Okay.
it. I don't see that's not being used
But
much as.
usually user stories are written by the product owner, isn't it? So they are.
But here, I mean, again, going to the conventional approach, like we sometimes may not be expecting the product owners to know how to use these studios and all. So
Yeah,
they go
yeah.
back to that
That's what I was
approach
asking
to,
because okay, so usually
yeah,
it's system analysts do it or
correct,
proxy product
correct.
owners they call it. Okay.
Yeah, you can call it so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least a bit of Pega
Yeah, no,
knowledge should
usually
help.
product owners are business users. Usually they are, so they
Mm,
don't know how
mm.
to write it.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
So if properly used until the potential, I think this really helps. But people are a bit reluctant to put everything on the application, so they go back to those old models and the old approaches itself.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now I can add in multiple recipients here, and you can
Mm.
choose whether it has to be a common email for all the listed recipients or you want it to be a separate email. So you can choose that. For now, I'll let this be a separate email. What is the subject? So, so few, I mean, all these are your properties.
Mm-hmm.
So and then few ones are already listed out. So if we want, we can choose them. But here we generally get the properties. So let me write my own subject. Offer.
Okay, we can write our own subject, isn't it?
Yes, we can write our subject. And then you can also compose the body of your email. Once you click
Okay.
on it, like you said, I have different templates available. So I can see if any of the template suits my requirement, I could use it. There is some thank you, status update, resolution, so goal deadline. So these are all related to your SLS. So if you want
Yeah.
to
So you
notify,
can write your own template here and
exactly, yes.
how do you get the fields in between? Like hi, after that I want to
Yes,
put Sneha. We can do
yes,
that, isn't it?
correct. We can do that, yes, yes. For example, let me just, so in order to get the properties or in order to populate the dynamic fields, you can use this particular dot and then the property. So something like, and then this would be your property, like dot first name or last name, whichever.
But
Yeah.
how do we know where it is? Like, will it not give a drop down search like when you put there? No.
Hmm. No, it doesn't give. So
So
just
you
that
should know.
we,
You should have known where it is.
correct, correct.
So it will, when you put like that, it will not connect to the database and get it. Okay.
Hmm. So earlier it used to give us the, um, let me see. You have this. Once you click on it, the popular
Because I
mode.
usually set
Yes,
up this
yes,
kind of
yeah,
emails.
yes,
So what
yes.
I work on, uh, there
Mhm.
is when you say like that, when you put in a particular way, it will, because we have a choice in the left hand side where we can select which database and which unique key it has to take
Okay,
and on which basis it has to send. So then it will display
okay.
all the database fields. So you can select from there after hi
Mhm.
what you want to put.
Right, right. Now on this magnifier, if you click, yes, we got the properties. You'll be able
How
to
did you
select
get
from.
this?
I just clicked on. Okay. So you got fire symbol. Why is this not going? One moment. Yeah. Once you give these two options, I mean, like,
Uh-huh.
once you give this, you get a magnifier here. See?
Okay, but first name, first time you only have to give.
Yeah, first name I have given it. Yeah, initially I did give it first time. Later I took it from the list of options.
Okay, okay.
Okay, and you can also deal with embedded properties if you want. So within student, I have some student first name, last name, all of those are there, right? So you can also deal with those things.
Mm-hmm.
It could be for embedded properties also. From student data, I can also bring in some student ID.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is student data dot student ID. Okay, so something like this. Okay, for example, this is the email. Okay, now let us see this. I'm going to just save and run this. We'll see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Now, each of the correspondence or each of this communication you define here that creates a correspondence rule in the backend on the Dev Studio. Okay, so let me give in some email here. I'll give some abc@gmail.com. Let's see if it's the same email the system is considering or not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there are mandatory fields, I think, for you to fill.
Oh, yeah. Like this is part of our validation that we
We
did,
are validated, isn't it?
the validate rule. Okay, let me proceed. Or as this is, I mean, as I'm now going to check only with respect to the release offer, I
Yeah, yeah.
have email release offer. So what I could do is I can jump to the stage that I want. So there is an option called change stage. Right? Choose which stage I would want to jump to. And this is
This is in the
obviously when
testing bit, isn't it? It's for the testing purposes.
exactly, yes, yes. So we wouldn't even show this option called change stage for the end users. It is mandatory that they have to go through all the stages,
Yeah.
except for this conditions that you mentioned. Otherwise, they have to go through all the stages.
Okay, so the email.
So yes, I think yes, two emails are generated. So let's see. So yes, one is to the abc@gmail.com, which is your candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is how the mail looks like. And you see hello has come. Why did this come? Because this is the first name that we have given.
Yeah.
Right? And then
And
your
the
from
initiator
will
also we
always
change,
be
isn't it? Like here it
yes.
is where is it sent?
It is
No,
default
from.
at the rate Pegasus Apple, but we can use the recipient as well.
Yeah, set
We
the
can do
send.
that. Okay, let's see what do we have on the other mail. Okay, yes, this is to the HRT. Now I've got two mails because I did not want to club them together. In case if you want the same mail to be generated, and all the recipients added on the same, then yeah, you can do that. Okay, now for example. So now let me just use only a single one. So a common email to all the recipients. Okay, let me just proceed. Okay, now this time I'll give maybe Virat Kohli. Now this is A, B, C, D. For example, the date of birth that we are validating. So I can directly jump, change info, sorry, change stage, navigation. Okay, yes, I see only one offer letter this time, but with two recipients here. So this could generally be used when you're sending out a rejection email, right? I don't need to send multiple rejection emails. Probably it could be for
Yeah.
all.
Can we hide
Uh,
also? Like we put it in BCC, isn't it?
right, but from this particular configure option, we cannot do it.
We
But
cannot do,
yeah,
but from there you can do it.
correct, correct, yes. Right, and this time I
Then
got the
in the
first name as
reject,
Virat.
you don't want to show
Yeah,
others' email, isn't it?
correct, correct, exactly, yes, true. Okay, right.
Yeah.
And so you generally send out emails, right? And what if you want to add in some attachments here? So because there might be attachments, like as in if you're sending out probably an email for some online transaction that you did, you get to see the bill, the invoice would be there. So the amount, the time that you have purchased, the total bill amount, so the GST, so everything would be put up on the invoice. Right? Sometimes you might need an attachment for it to be included in the mail. Now, how do I add in some attachments? Before that, let's see what all shapes or what steps I can use for this creating a PDF. Okay. So there is a step here Click on more, automations. There is a step,
Create.
create. Exactly. So this creates a PDF from a particular section. Okay, you can choose a section that needs to be put in your PDF. Now, how do you want this PDF to be generated? So here you get to see all your sections that you have created and few default sections also. Right? So, for example, I would like to put in some get personal info. Now, how do you want this to be generated? How you want this to be put in, as in like a landscape or a portrait? You can choose. What is the name of the PDF you want to show?
Mhm.
It could be invoice, it could be personal info. I mean, whatever, depending upon the
Yeah.
context that you are using. How do you want this attachment? So, on which category you would want this to be? So, this is a PDF. So, I would like to put it as a document. Or you
Document.
can put a file. Okay. And in case if you are wanting it to be a screenshot or a URL, you can use it as per the context. So, let me put it as a document. I'm going to save it. Now, if I want this PDF to be added onto the email, obviously, this has to be before your email is sent. Correct? So I would like to just move it across to the top. And this PDF now that is created, I want this to be added as an attachment in my email. How would I do that? Go back to your send offer email, click on include attachments.
Include attachments. Okay.
And do you want all case attachments to be included or you specifically want to select some? No, I don't
Mhm.
want everything. I want only few specific attachments. So you can choose the category and yes, there's a document that you've just generated. Right? And you can add in multiple attachments also. Okay.
How does it know that particular when you select as document, that particular one only it will pick?
Right. So here, when I map this or when I create this document, so for each rule, or you can say for every rule that you create in Pekka, will have a PZINS key, which is unique. So
Mhm.
it would be different for sections, it would be different for properties, it would be different for your PDF. So it is different for each one of
No,
the
but
entity
here we
that
are
you
not
create.
told it's PDF, isn't it? There might be in this, you told
Mhm.
one particular, but there might be in two places we would have created PDFs for two different things.
Correct, correct.
But how
True.
will it know that particular PDF you're going to pick?
Mm. So suppose when I just add in one more document, for example,
Yeah.
let me just add in one more. On this one, I would just put the okay. I'll let it be the educational info.
Mhm.
On this also, I'll put it as a document only.
Mhm.
Save this. For example, I would just like to rename this. This is for personal info. And this is for educational info. Okay. Now, suppose I want to add in both of these on the email. Now, so let me go to the offer. No, I don't want to include all attachments. Oh yeah, include attachments. So when I give include all case attachments, I would get both of these. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
What if I want to choose from among them? Sorry. Let me choose category and
Documents.
document. Yes. It isn't asking me any specific one. Okay, let's see. Okay, I've mentioned the same thing twice, but let's see what happens. It isn't asked any
Yeah,
specific.
that's what I was thinking because I thought it will show the particular one.
Right, right. Okay, yes, I see three. I mean one. Oh, see, by default, it has taken the personal info and the educational info. Both are considered.
Yeah, but
Mentioned.
we don't have a choice there, isn't it? Yeah, so that,
Yeah, yeah, true. So I think even though it is not asking, it is considering the order in which we are generating it. So if you
okay,
observe the timestamp, personal info is generated at 36:36. After that, you got the educational info PDF. After that, both of these are added as attachments on the offer letter.
okay,
I think even without even specifying the choice, we will still be able to add in the attachments without at least the specific identifier. We can still add in the attachments.
mm. But yeah, it's
We can
difficult to
select.
be sure that which one isn't it? It's going. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So generally, this creation of, I mean, even though PDFs are created here,
Hmm.
if you observe, I mean, if you look at the format and all, maybe I'll just run one case. Now I look at this PDF, you see, I
Mhm.
will see it like this. So you see there's first name, last name, so all of this is generated. But when we send out a PDF to the customer, this is not how it looks like, right? We add in a header, then you would have a footer, then there is some, you know, uh, you have a lot of other things like signature
Yeah.
would be there, organization's address. So all of that cannot be part of a section, right?
Mhm.
I don't show it to the user, but still it has to be there on the PDF. So even though we try to put it here, we still do a lot of refining from the Dev Studio.
Yeah.
As in like what should be the borders or how the UI has to be presented. So here there isn't any heading. The customer even doesn't know what this is. Right? We need to have proper headings, the organizational details, addresses, date, times. So all this would be there. Correct? So this is
Yeah.
more like we are providing a template, but a lot of refining would be done on the Dev Studio again. Yes. So like
Yeah.
in initially, probably from first we are talking about that from the App Studio we will be able to design a skeleton of the transaction, right? But a lot of other internal processing refinements are all taken care from the Dev Studio perspective. Yes. Right. So this is how you would be able to deal with the communication and then your case attachments, right? So are we good? Any questions so far? Are we clear?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I had the question there itself. That's document, but
Mm,
I think
mm.
we can refine everything from Dev Studio,
Correct,
isn't it?
correct, correct. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. And probably,
There it might
uh,
give more choice also, I think, to select
exactly,
and
exactly. Yes, yes. In fact, there I can use actual sections. I can embed multiple sections as well. Here it is
Mhm.
only given an option to add one section. What if I want to group different sections? Right? So
Mhm.
that I cannot do it here. No, for that I should go back to the Dev Studio to embed different sections onto the PDF. Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
right. Yes. So I think we are good with the emails and the attachments.
Hmm.
So next we have things related to the UI, configuring the user layouts and a bit of styling, what all we could achieve from the App Studio. Yeah. Earlier we were discussing about this correspondences, the communication with respect to emails, and we have also spoken about the PDFs, as in like how would you generate a PDF and how would you attach it to the case. Okay.